Etabs video. Today we are going to see how to define the column property, beam property, slabs and wall thicknesses, and how to assign them to the structure. Already we have seen column and beam before. Just in this video we are going to see in more detail. Okay, so just coming back to Etabs. Already I have opened the Etabs. To open the new file, just you can go for Control N or click on the File menu, and you can go for New Model here. So as we seen in the previous video, we can set up the inbuilt options here. Let the display units be in metric SI, and section database is Indian, and steel code design. So steel design code is IS 800, and similarly concrete is IS 456 here. So IS 456 2000 and OK. Now we are going to set up the grid, and right now I'm just going to take only one floor, and in next video we are going to see how to edit them, how to create copies and move them. Right now I'm going to define number of grids in X direction as 2, and similarly in Y direction also 2, and let the distance between them be 3 meters, and then Y direction also let it be 3 meters. Okay, in X direction I'm just going to define it as 3. Okay. And each section is 3 meters here, and coming to story dimensions, default height is 3 meters for bottom and typical story height, and let the number of stories be 2 stories here. Okay, and click on OK. So automatically we are going to get this grid here. So we got the grids like this. Since I have given only next I have given 3 grid lines, so we got 2 base, and in Y direction we got only 1 division, 2 grid lines, so we have got only 1 bay. And if you want to change the grid color, again simply you can go for edit menu, and you can go for grid options, and you can go for edit stories and grid systems, and under this default grid system is re1, and go for modify or show grid system, and the default color is in gray color. Okay, if you wish to change the color of the grid, so simply you can choose your own color and click on OK. Again and OK. Click again. So if you can click on refresh so that you can see the changes on the screen. So the grid has been displayed like this, and similar way we can edit the size of the bubbles also. We'll see that later again. So next one, we have to create the number of columns and beam cross-sectional properties. I want to show you the C1, C2, B1, B2 column beams, and slab thickness and shear wall thickness here. So for column I want to create 450 by 230 mm, and C2 300 by 230. I'm just going to define these two. Before that we have to define the materials. So what I'm going to do is just go for define and material properties, and no need to define for each and every file. Once you have created materials in one file, we can import that to another files also. We'll see that in upcoming videos. Right now I'm going to create a new material here. Just click on add new material, and just select the region as India, material type as concrete. Here I'm just going to define the concrete grade here. Let the grade be suppose M25 for our structure, and click on OK. See, we are getting the material name as M25, and default material display color is blue. If we want to change the color of this one, we can change the color here. So because I will be showing the how to change the color for sections also, let it be default and click on OK. And similarly I want to define the rebar material also. So click on add new material, and just go for region India. You have to change material type here. So just go for rebar, and you will be getting the grades of steel here. So just choose the required steel here. Let it be HYSD 415 and OK. So for material steel we are getting green here. You might be getting some default color, other color. So if you wish to change the color here, you can select the color and click on OK, and again OK. So we have defined concrete and steel materials. Right now I'm just going to define C1, C2 columns and beams here. Here what I want to do is I want to assign C1 here and C2 here, and I want to assign beams. Here I want to assign the shear wall. Okay, so we'll see how to define all those structural options. I'm just going for define again, and just go for section properties under frame sections. Default there are number of items shown in the number of properties are displayed here. You can click on add new property, and you have to select the cross section you want to assign there. and we can edit these all the options here. Property name I'm going to give it as C1 here, okay. And material I want to assign it as concrete M25. And display color, you can choose the display color for the column. Right now I'm just going to choose the display color for column as green and click on OK. And similarly we need to change the reinforcement details also. Click on modify or show rebar, and under this one just make sure that you are selecting PM2 M3 design column, okay. And under rebar just change it for HYSD 415 and confinement bars. You can go for HYSD 415 and click on OK and again OK. So similar way we can create number of properties. So I'm just going for another property, C2 property. So one more thing, just we need to edit this one, C1. One more thing, we need to edit the properties here, section dimensions. Let it be 450 cross 230. That is width is 230. Okay. As I shown before, C1, C2 sizes, I'm taking C1 as 450 by 230 and next one I'm going to take 300 by 230. Okay. So before just I forgot this one, you have to edit this one and go for OK. If you forgot anything or you want to re-edit any section, anything, you can simply choose that one or double click on that one, or else just choose the section and click on modify or show property here. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to add new property, and I'm going to select the sections rectangle. And again we are going to get this window. I'm going to name it as C2. And yeah, let the C2 color, yeah, of course we can change different colors for different properties. Okay, let it be red for example and click on OK. I want to change the depth as 300 and width as 230 here. Okay. So let it be 230 and just make sure that you are changing the reinforcement properties also. Modify rebar and column. Just you have to change the longitudinal bars to HYSD 415. Similarly HYSD 415 for tie bars and OK. Click on OK. So I'm going to create the beam properties also similar way. So add new property. And we are going to get this one. So let it be B1 here and make sure that you are creating the material as M25 and depth as, so previously I have shown the beam properties also. We are getting 300 by 230. Of course you can assign the C2 property also, but I want to create a property here. Let it be 300 cross 230 and click on modify show rebar. And I have to change it for design type to M3 design only and just go for HYSD 415 and the longitudinal bars, and for confinement bars just go for HYSD 415 again and click on OK and again OK. So once I want to check for C1 again, C2 again. Okay. Yeah, C2. Yeah, previously I didn't change this material, just I'm editing that one here now, M25 and click on OK. And similar way I'm adding new property, just go for section, rectangular section, and I'm going to assign the 230 by 230 B2 property. Okay. So yeah, let it be B2 and the material has to be M25 and I'm going to just define the depth as 230 and width is also 230 here. Okay. For B2 I'm just going to change the color here. Let it be some blue cyan color and modify show rebar. So here change it for M3 design only and again longitudinal bars, HYSD bars. So same procedure is repeated again. You have to change this all the things and click on OK. So first one we need to use the property name, material and then section dimensions, and we have to go for the rebar options, and then after setting these all the things just click on OK. And we have created C1, C2, B1, B2. Similar way I want to create the slab portions and slab sections and the shear wall section. Just I want to show all the properties, how we are defining, how we are going to assign to the model. Okay. Similar way just go for define and you can go for section properties. Under section properties you can click on slab sections. Okay. So I have given slab section as 150 mm here. Okay. I'm going to define that one here. So default we are having by inbuilt we are having some properties here. I want to add a new property. Just click on add new property and of course you can define this one. I'm just going to define it as slab 150 mm. Okay. And make sure that by giving name it won't change the section. We have to define the thickness here. So just define the thickness as 150 mm. And slab material I want to assign as M25 here and click on OK. Okay, so slab 150 mm property has been created, and similar way I want to define the wall section also. So define and just go for section property. We are having wall sections and just go for add new property again. Here I'm just going to define it as a shear wall 1, let it be, and wall material let it be M25 again, and the thickness let it be 230. Okay, and if you want to change the display color, of course you can change that one. Okay, and click on OK and OK again. So once I want to check the slab, just going for define section property and slab thickness. I'm just going for slab 150 mm and modify show property. So make sure that you are changing all this one, and then slab and shear wall we are going to get this option modeling type. Okay, under modeling type, so we are having shell thin, shell thick, etc. For different options there will be different designing or different analysis process. So mostly for slab and shear walls we are going to use shell thin or membrane. So I'm just going for shell thin right now. We'll see other options in later videos. So similar way we are going for walls also. Define section properties and wall sections. Under wall sections also we are going for modify show property. Here also you are getting the same option. Okay, so let it be shell thin, since for slabs or walls the thickness is less when compared to the footings. When you are using footings, then you can go for shell thick. Okay, so let it be okay. So like this way we can define different cross-sectional property. Right now I want to assign those properties to the model. I want to create those columns and beams in the screen. So as we discussed before, we are going to have the options here. Okay, so otherwise we can go through the menu also. At top we are having the draw menu, and you can directly go for draw beam or column brace objects. We can draw one by one if you are having draw beam, column brace in plan or elevation 3D. So we'll be getting this dialog box as bottom left. Okay, so simply you can expand the size like this. Okay, the default we are getting type of line as frame, and you have to change the property for B1 here. I'm just going for B1 here, and as I choose to draw, you have to select the first point and the second point like this. Okay, this is one method to draw the beam. You can observe at the right view we have got the beam here. And in case if you want to assign the beams directly to the grid lines, just I have undo the screen and going for draw, then go for draw beam or column objects. So I'm just going for quick draw beams or columns. Okay, and I'm going to choose the beam frame here at the left side. Property, just going for property, I'm just going for B1 here. Now just highlight the beams you want to assign there. Okay, just hold control and you can choose multiple beams like this. Okay, so for this outer side, 3 sides I have created this B1 beam, and for inner beam I want to change it for B2. B2 from the list you can select the B2 here, and you can select these 2 beams like this. Okay, for this one and this one. So if you observe, the beams has been created at the top story. If you want to create for all the stories, make sure that before assigning only, we need to keep all stories at bottom right option here. Okay, so just you need to go here and keep all stories, and then it will be assigned for all the stories here. Okay, B2 again I'm going to select. If you observe in the right side, we are going to get the beams for all the stories here. Okay, similar way, just I'm changing to B1 again. So let it be B1, and I want to assign this for all the stories. Again I'm just choosing all. So if you observe, we have got the beams in all the directions, and for columns it is something like light blue here. Okay, similar way I want to assign the columns. Just going for draw, and you can go for draw beam column objects, and just going for quick draw columns, and you can choose the section here. Just go for property and select the C1 from the list. C1, and I want to assign the C1 for outer columns here, outer corners. So just you need to choose the exact point, or you can directly highlight the portions where you want to assign the columns. Okay, Similarly, I want to assign C2 for middle points. Just select C2 from the list here, and that you can highlight the portion like this. Okay. And of course, we can change the orientation of the columns. I'm just going for escape. If you want to change the orientation of the column, we can change that one. Right now, I'm just going to select this one. Yeah, and just go for assign. And we are going to have the frame option. Under frame, we are going to have the local axis. Click on local axis and we can change the angle like this. If I want to rotate it for 90 degrees and apply, if you observe, the column has been rotated to 90 degrees like this. Okay. So let it be 0 degrees. Otherwise, you can create a number of sections and you can assign it directly also. Yeah, first of all, we need to select and then we need to apply that one and okay. Now we'll see how to assign the slabs. Okay. So again, same procedure. You can go for drawer. At left side, we are going to have the square symbol here. Okay. So if you are clicking on this one, it is showing like draw rectangular floor or wall here. I'm just choosing that one, and under properties, just select the slab 150 mm which we have created previously. Just you need to draw the square or the rectangular slab like this. It might be total one-way slab like this, or it will be two-way slab like this. Okay. So if you want to define slab for different portions, you can click according to the floors. Okay. Right now, just we are seeing how to assign the rectangular slabs here. Okay. Next step, I want to assign shear wall at this side. Just I'm going to remove these columns here. Okay. Just holding control. So I have deleted these columns here. Now I want to assign the shear wall over there. So again, just go for draw and you can go for draw floor or wall objects, and you can go for draw walls in plan view. Okay. So just go for this one and you can draw from wherever you want to create the shear wall. Like this, you have to join the 2 points and you'll be getting a shear wall like this. Okay. Yeah, since we are in the plan view, it is showing like this, and in the 3D view, it will be showing like this. Okay. And if you want to see the sections with different colors, as we assign different colors for columns and P1, P2, etc. So simply you can click on this tick mark here. In the toolbar, we are going to have this tick mark with a square box or the rectangular box. Okay. So if you are clicking on this one, you will be getting the window like this, and you have to choose the option as section properties. Okay. View by colors of section properties, and you have to go for extrude frames and extrude shells and click on apply and okay. So we can see how the properties has been assigned like this. Okay. Hope you understood how to define the section properties and how to assign them.